Hey, what's happening, everybody? I am at Pruitt, and this is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit, episode number, I think, 38. Hope y'all doing well. I'm unbelievable as always. Been a little while since we have seen y'all. Back here with the one and only Queen Pruitt over there. How you be?
Swell. How are you?
Well, I am swell. It's a little hard to see you right now. This office is a bit of a mess here in the new studio here.
That is what's different, right? I'm like, I can't even when I don't know. I can't see you.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just move my camera. Okay, so I could do this. You know. Anyway, how y'all doing out there? In the live stream. It's good to see all of y'all. Don't hear her mic, you said? Why we don't hear her mic?
Even when I talk, is not just me not speaking in it, or it's not loud enough?
Okay. The signal looks good.
I sound far away.
Yeah, you just make sure you're on the mic. That's all.
Or just maybe you got to turn it up too.
No, your levels are good, dear.
Turn it up. Turn my microphone up. Turn my microphone up.
Because you're already hot now.
Turn my microphone up. Ain't that what they say on the songs? Yeah. Turn my microphone up.
Oh, it just seemed to be cutting out. I guess that's internet, perhaps. Not sure. All right. We're going to keep rolling along, just plowing ahead.
Mr. Helms said that we should shut it down and bring it up again.
That was earlier.
Oh.
Holy moly. All right. Focus. Welcome, y'all. As you can see, we are in a different studio setting. We have moved from one spot to another. Thank you all. We spoke about that previously on the show when I did the solo episode, when I had a minute. It was a pretty hectic situation, but I'm glad that it's somewhat done. It's not all the way done because we still got a shit ton of boxes everywhere. We pretty much downsized, and when you've been in a spot for almost 5 years, you accumulate a whole lot of other stuff and crap, and then you still have your stuff that you need, and you realize a lot of the stuff that you need, you had a lot of it. At least speaking for myself, I can't speak for her, but so we're still sort of battling through getting moved in and settled in. Far as the show audio, it's going to be a little bit different right now because I haven't done any of the treatments on the walls and stuff like that. So it might be a little echoey. Sorry about that. But I appreciate y'all being here. If you're watching live on YouTube, and I see that a handful of you are, please hit the thumbs up and the like button right now inside of YouTube so they'll send us some love and help us try to pay some bills. Maybe anything you'd like to add while I move my camera?
Thank you so much again for all of the support. Jasmine speaking, I have took all my niece out. Our niece.
Yes.
Sorry, our niece. Our niece out. She really came through. She and Kennedy. I loved it. We had fun. We got it done. And she kept me focused, and I just really appreciate it. It's like, okay, well, we got to make this happen. Let's make it happen. Because I was pussyfoot, and I'm not even going to lie. I was like, I don't think we can do it.
I got to tell you.
I don't think we can do it. I'm not going to think. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to stay right here.
I got to tell you, it was a bit of a concern when I was out for that week, as far as would anything get packed, because it takes a certain motivation to pack when you don't have any questions answered. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you?
I did pack the kitchen. I did do several boxes while you were gone, just in the kitchen. But other than packing up the kitchen and wiping the counters and the cabinets, not the counters, but the cabinets, I was scrubbing the cabinets, and I didn't even need to do all that.
And looking at the chat there from good old Jasmine, she's 100% right. Oh, this used to pop up on the screen. Oh, well. But anyway, she says the Carolina to Cali crew made it happen. Yes, indeed, it did. Thank you, Jasmine. Really do appreciate you.
Really, really, really do.
Had a good time hanging with her. even through the times of chaos of moving. So let's go ahead and get started with some stuff that's been on our brains, if you will. Let me see if I can pull this over here like so everybody can see it. Whoops, we don't want to see the stuff about University of Oregon just yet. That's another thing. I saw a story here recently, and it made me think of you, of course. And it is 86-year-old woman is the longest serving flight attendant, says the Guinness Book of World Records. Can I put that on the right screen? I'm sorry, I shouldn't try to figure that stuff out while I'm on a new set. But yeah, 86-year-old woman is the longest serving flight attendant. Now, unfortunately, she did just recently die too. That's why it's a bit of a story. But I thought about this and thought about you when I saw this story, because some people may not be aware, but at one time you had some aspirations of being a flight attendant and really got yourself squared away and ready to go with it, right? Why are you laughing? That's not true.
Because it was not aspirations. I had not aspirations only. I wanted to be a flight attendant until I was a flight attendant.
Well, okay. There's that.
That's what happened. I wanted to be a flight attendant until I was a flight attendant. And I went through all of that, flying from here to North Carolina, from North Carolina to California, interviewing, having group interviews in Charlotte, having group interviews everywhere, Greensboro, all these different places. And I just kept getting no. And I had never applied for a job that I didn't get. So when I kept doing all of the flight attendant, all of the different airlines, and I kept getting no, I was like, this is not right. Finally was hired by SkyWest Airlines and made it 2 out of the 4 week required boot camp to know this is not what I wanted. But I did try it. It was one of my dreams, so I had to try it to know.
If you don't mind me asking, I'm not necessarily trying to put you on the spot, but if you care to answer, what made you say this was not it?
My hair fell out the first well, the first, what was that, like day 4 or 5 that I called you over in the morning or whatever time it was? I don't know. I was
because for folks that don't know, the boot camp for the flight attendant school was in Salt Lake City. At the time, Utah. We were in Charlotte, North Carolina. So there was a time zone difference, and couple that time zone difference with getting acclimated to getting up at like 4 a.m. to be ready to roll at 5 and crap like that.
And I had to quit smoking pot. All at once. All of this stuff happened at once, and my whole life had to change. And
so this just in, she's not a flight attendant because she had to quit smoking pot. There, I said it. No, I'm kidding.
I don't think it was that only.
No. Well, what was it? Or what do you think it was? Let's say that. What do you think it was?
Maybe because I knew I was going to have to stop smoking.
Really? We keep going back to the weed, huh? So, jeez Christ.
I don't know. It couldn't be because I didn't think I was going to be able to memorize things, because I've clearly proved to myself that I can. But it was all of the pressure that we had to do it. And it was like, no, you're not going to be 35,000 feet in the air with a co-partner every time. You're not going to have another flight attendant. It is not just serving drinks and smiling and waving. it's so much more to it.
It's like, okay, it's not just serving drinks and smiling. So what else is
food and all that stuff. It's when I was little, I just remember the Delta dress, the red Delta dress, and the ladies were just waving and smiling for you to get on. Had the little hats, but they were called stewardesses that time.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to do that. I wanted to be one of those ladies that smiled and gave the drinks and the delicious peanuts. I wanted to be that person wearing that red dress because it looked like all they had to do was look pretty and wave.
I'm sure they appreciate you saying that.
At the time, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I thought. No, I know it was more to it than that. Yeah. I did. I know it was a whole lot more to it than that. But it was a huge, rude awakening that I was not young anymore. Not like that. And those kids were just absorbing it. We were in Salt Lake City. I had no way to wind down because there was no alcohol available anywhere. It was just, you're on the schedule. You get up, you eat when they tell you to eat, or you miss out on eating. And you're in class all this time and you're learning all the different commands and everything that's going on. And you got self-defense classes and $18 an hour later. No, thank you very much. You're not even paid until the flight deck door closes. That's when your pay starts. It doesn't even start when you're on the plane. And all these people are begging for your help to get their luggage up into the oh my God, what they're called? The cabins up top.
Stowage.
Where the luggage goes.
The stowage, yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Overhead bins.
Overhead
stowage.
bins, that's it. Overhead bins sounds better than stowage.
Okay. I gotta give you credit. You said the flight deck. That shows that you was serious. You was up in that thing, man. Most people have been like, they close the door of the airplane. You was like, no, the flight deck.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
We had vocabulary words that we had to do. It wasn't what I wanted. It was not just, I wasn't smiling by the end of the day like I wanted to be. You know, it was a lot of work. And then self-defense, I get learning CPR. I love that I was able to learn.
Why you don't want to learn self-defense in a situation like that?
They need to, if I got to learn self-defense for my job, I think I should be paid more than $18 an hour.
That's fair. I think I got the chats popping up now on the screen for the recording. This was our favorite, my man, Mr. Ozone Nightmare, with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. It says, good evening, Pruitt. Glad you landed in the new digs and are back on the airwaves, internet waves, YouTube waves, whatever. Just glad to see you both again. Welcome back. Let me see if I can hit the little like thing on there. Probably not. Yeah, I can. Look at that. Some things are actually working for me right now. Hot dang. Good to see you, Mr. Ozone Nightmare. Thank you so much for the super chat and thank you for the support. My thoughts on, this flight attendant stint that you went through. We talked about getting up early and all of that stuff, and your hair falling out, and I gotta tell you, people are gonna really hate me for this, but you sent me a text, pretty much like a distress text. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. This was like day 2, if that.
I believe it.
It was early.
It's probably 3.
And I got to tell you, I was laughing my ass off.
He laughed at me. It wasn't even just a text because we ended up talking, and I remember hearing you laugh in my ear. Like, before you said it's going to be okay, you did laugh. I knew it was coming. That's what you were saying. Between the time changing and having to be alert and,
I can't help it. It makes me laugh now. Thinking about it.
I was not prepared because it was like we got there and we had to go to work as soon as we got there. It was like a rush to get to sleep so that we could get up.
Yeah.
It already started. And I was like, I'm going to do this again. Already rushing to go to sleep so I can get up.
The first day you telling me to go to bed as soon as I get here?
Yes. You showing me the pool and all this stuff out here. We'll never see it.
You'll never see it.
We'll never see this shit. I think we saw it out the first weekend. Because I was able to get into the pool and the hot tub we did go there once or twice.
Oh man!
But I missed breakfast a lot because it was at 5 a.m. Who eats breakfast at 5 o'clock in the morning? I just never made it because it was like, am I going to make it for breakfast? If I get there for breakfast, I'm doing really good.
Man.
But I just wanted to make sure that I was there on the bus so I could get to the hangar.
Yeah.
Because if not, then that was not good.
And see,
it was
for me,
so much stress.
For me, I laughed because my background with sports and playing in college, and I understood that when someone has control of damn near every minute of your day, it is demanding. And I get what it takes because they have goals for you. Yeah. And you need to be able to perform on command, on demand. Yeah. So that takes them doing a bit of boot camp with you.
I get that. I get all of it.
And so me knowing what that feels like and knowing that you ain't never seen shit like that, I just sat back with my popcorn. I was just waiting on it. I was like, this crash is coming, because it was going to be funny. Now, I did assume that you was going to get through it. I totally saw you was going to do it. Yeah. But I knew it was going to hurt like hell. I just saw it coming. And when I got that call, that first text from you, I laughed my ass off. And then you called me, and I still laughed my ass off.
Because you saw me.
Because it was...
and I looked like that. What was that? All I could think about was what is the rugged, that bird, the beep beep, that one.
Road
and
runner.
then, when he get run over for whatever, that's how I felt in my head. I looked in the mirror and I just felt like everything was, my brain was just, this is not gonna work.
Jasmine says your sissy was worried.
I was worried.
Oh gosh, y'all shouldn't have been worried. It's just boot camp. That's all.
It was horrible.
I
was ready to, I don't even care. So when I didn't get that one thing right, and I knew that once then that entire day of 9/11.
Yeah.
$18 an hour. You putting me through all this torture. No, thank you. It was torture just to have a job. No, thank you. It was not even worth it. Not for me. I mean, yeah, we would have been able to fly wherever, but who was going to want to go somewhere? I'd be sick. Oh, it was awful.
She's like, y'all go ahead and go. I'm tired of this damn plane.
I was done putting out fires, literally.
Man.
I did. Yeah, but kudos to the lady. I'm sorry for her loss. Well, she's passed away.
Yeah,
but
she just passed away from cancer. And again, she was in her 80s and had served for,
that's
over 60 years. It was literally over 60 years. And
what airline was it? Do you know?
She was with American. She was with American. And when I thought about it, I was like, imagine the shit that woman is seeing. Because she got started back when freaking smoking was allowed on the plane. You know? And back when taking a flight was a really special event. The
what you wore,
the boarding passes came in the mail.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just it was an event, and people dressed up, and none of this bullshit with the slippers and PJs on the plane. None of that stuff. It was just imagine the stuff she's seen over all of these decades.
Everything changed over and over and over.
She experienced.
And she went through COVID.
She went through 9/11, and she went through COVID. She experienced both of those things. That's the stories I bet she could tell.
Yeah, I hope that she did.
But yeah, I just wanted to share that before we get into some other stuff about boot camp. This is Everyday People doing everyday shit. Appreciate y'all being here. But right now we're going to pause for a quick second so we can let some ads run and attempt to pay some bills. So y'all stay right there. We'll be right back. And we are back. Everyday People doing everyday shit. Episode 38-ish, something like that. I don't know. I never know until I pull up the file, just to be honest with you. So we were previously talking about a bit of a boot camp scenario that you went through when you went to flight attendant school back in the day. I figure I should bring up good old boot camp that I went through. At least it seems like it was a boot camp. And that is the Hoffman experience that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. I finally got to the point where I can actually talk more about it. But even with that said, there's only so much that I could say, because while I was there, while we were all there, we signed a bit of an NDA, but we also just held our hands up and say, hey, we agree to confidentiality, and, what happens in here is our business, that kind of thing. But they get the fact that once you experience this stuff, you do want to share some stuff. So it's a bit of a balancing act. So what did this entail? As you know, I was gone for a week, and that meant leaving this woman over here with the looking through the dirty lenses, leaving her here by herself and leaving Jacob here by himself. And that was going to always be a challenge. Right? No, I kid.
I cooked.
You cooked, huh?
Didn't I send you photos?
You cooked? Okay, so let's see here. I
made some food.
You made food. What exactly did you make? So let's see.
So one night I made some chicken strips and I wrapped it in bacon.
Okay.
Actually let it marinate in the barbecue sauce overnight because I didn't feel like cooking it the night before. so I was like, let me just let default. It marinate. Yes. And wrapped it in bacon. And then when I ran out of bacon, I just had the other ones and put it in the oven. And it was really good. I was supposed to make sandwiches out of it, but I ended up just having it over. See, after I put some fake cheese.
Hold on. I don't know.
Some audio on there.
They didn't hear that audio. Let me see if I can get that play back there. There we go.
So you can sort of tell which is the fake cheese and which is the real cheese. So it's bacon wrapped chicken tenderloins, barbecue chicken tenderloins with cheese on it. There you go. This is the first meal I've cooked. And it's a meal because we got green beans to warm up while Anthony is away. Not too
You sound thrilled.
While Anthony's away. Not too shabby. Look at this steam still coming off. Ooh,
oh my gosh.
I'm excited about it. I am. It's not pretty at all now that I looked at it. I don't care. I cooked it.
Oh gosh. I swear. We so that was the first meal. Was that the only meal that you cooked?
No.
Did you cook anything else? Did you cook anything else?
Yes. I just can't remember right now. What else did I make? I'm
asking you, dude.
Something else. I made one other meal. And the in-between was, I think.
And that's fine because that's a lot of chicken there for just the two of y'all. So yeah that would have lasted for a little while. Okay, cool. Kudos to you on that.
So we didn't starve. We had food to eat.
John Helm says Costco dinner.
No, I didn't. No Costco. I did not go to Costco for food this time. I said I'm going to make something on my own this time.
Outstanding. So proud of you, dear.
I'm proud of me too.
Oh, gosh.
Because I wanted to go to Costco, but I'm like, I used to call that Monterey chicken because Chili's used to have it on their menu, something like that, with chicken and cheese and barbecue sauce. And
it's a good combo. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So good job on doing that and making sure you and the hardhead don't starve in my absence. Thank you for that.
Oh, he's going to be leaving. Oh, my God.
So anyway, the stuff that I went through, I'm going to try to just give a little bit of highlights. I'm not going to tell y'all everything. So it is a week-long process, and it's actually called a process. And you're pretty much there being treated, if you will. And that's not a bad thing. You know, as I said beforehand, it was the idea of trying to go in there and come out a better version of me. And as I mentioned before, I had a bit of a leg up. I was a little bit of ahead of the game because of my own bit of self-love that I have for myself. So with that said, I'm glad I did have the self-love because it did help. And there was a lot of stuff that went on in there that I already knew about, was already aware of, and just sort of was cool with it. But on the second day that I was there, it felt like I've been there a week.
Sort of like prison.
It was.
Did it feel like prison ever? That's what I want to know.
It never felt like prison.
That's cool.
It never felt like prison. You are locked away from the rest of the world. They take your phones and your electronics away. There's no laptops. There's no phones. There's no tablets. There's not even any books. So if you thought you could just bring your favorite novel and catch up on reading, nope. That's not happening either. So you're literally separated from the rest of the world. Everything is so secluded at the location, and this location was here in Petaluma, and it was up on one of the huge Petaluma hills out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it is so remote. They have a warning in some of the paperwork, like, we are in a remote natural area. Nature is going to be nature. You need to deal with this shit.
Can I bring my gun? Did anybody ask if they could bring their gun? Did anybody ask if they could bring their gun?
Some of us did think about some of the animals as part of our meals, you know.
Yeah.
Because it was, man, it was a lot out there. There were so many deer. These deer would just.
That's some good jerky.
They just walk by. And just nod at you and just go gnaw on some grass. It's like, just nod. It's just gnaw on some grass and go on about their business. And without giving too much away, the facility itself, you know, it's a dormitory there, and they had this classroom building there, and the classroom building, I remember it had this back deck on it, and the back deck was raised up off the ground at least 2.5 feet, 3 feet, probably about 3 feet. So 36 inches. We'd be sitting inside of the classroom and looking out the back door during class, and you see the deer just walking around being deer. But for those that don't know, deer, their heart rates are really, really fast. So they're warm. And during the day, you don't see a lot of deer. They tend to just sort of hide out, sleep, eat a little bit, but they typically are resting and they're more active at night when it's cooler. So these deer, it's like, shit, it's hot out here. They'd walk up to that deck, go down up under the deck, and stay there. We'd go out for a break, walk out under the deck, just sort of, you know, we totally forgot the deer under there. They don't care. Noise, it's a wooden deck. Them deer just like, oh, okay, it's just more people. We were here first.
This our hood. I'm just letting y'all visit because I don't like deer.
It was so many, and that's the only thing. That's not the only thing. That's just deer. There was more than that. There were freaking turkey everywhere.
Oh, I don't like them.
Don't like those punk asses either.
I don't like them either.
Rabbits, all kinds of birds flying around, lizards and reptiles. Just nature. The rabbits, again, this was nighttime. It was the night of a full moon. I wanted to go out and just go look at the full moon since we're so high up in elevation. And the sky was just really beautiful because for once it wasn't hazy and cloudy at night like it always is. So I said, let me just go out here and go look at the moon. And I'm walking through this trail and I see off in the distance something was on the grass. So my spidey senses say be cautious. Could be a fox, could be a wild dog, whatever. No, it wasn't a bear, John Helms. That's a good question.
Or one of them, the hogs.
No, it wasn't a boar. Wasn't a boar. Because I could see it in the distance and it was small. I knew it was something small. So I'm thinking a fox at the most. So I'm walking slower and I get a little bit closer and this thing doesn't move and it's getting smaller. So I'm like, okay, this must be like a gopher or a rabbit. And I could see it was a rabbit. Okay, a rabbit at night on the side of a trail in the little brush in the grass. Sees me coming, hears me coming. They got big ass ears. He heard me coming 2 miles ago. You know, this rabbit sees me coming. I get within, I don't know, probably about it from me to you. And this is about almost 10 feet. I got within 10 feet of that damn rabbit. That rabbit just sat there.
He said he not in the South. He know you not going to cook him up. He's not in the South. He is in California. Ain't nobody about to cook him.
Ain't nobody about to cook me, dude.
No. That's for them South. Beep.
That dude,
rabbits.
he just
them East Coast rabbits.
That rabbit just sat there, dude. I'm telling you, it blew my mind. It did not move. I kept walking. I went on up to see the moon and whatnot. Stayed up there about 10, 15 minutes. And I come back down the trail to go back to my dorm. That damn rabbit was still there. Heard me coming again. He just turned his head, looked at me, and just handled his business. I guess he was taking a nice long shit. I don't know, but he wasn't moving and he didn't care. Happy. You know, it's just
this is hood.
It's totally remote, so different to be that close. Do you socialize with other folks? I guess that's what that rabbit was saying. It says John Helms. Oh man, but yeah, it's just you're out there in nature. You're out there truly separated from the world to make this process work. And there's a lot of digging deep. Like I said, I'd been there 2 days and it felt like I've been there 3 or 4 days because they are really tapping into you physically, mentally, and emotionally, and pulling out stuff that I ain't thought about in a gazillion years, pulling out stuff that, you know, you didn't know was there. And it just revelations, if you will. And it was quite moving and really just opened up my eyes to a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of it talking about my childhood and my parents, and you know how I feel about my moms, you know, but I still needed to have a moment of proper forgiveness for my moms. I thought I'd forgiven my mom years ago. Apparently I didn't. And somehow I was able to properly forgive my mom and felt even lighter when I left. You know, and again, it made me think a lot about myself as just a son. Made me think about myself as a partner. Made me think of myself as far as a father. You know, and it just you're just on fire when you leave up out of there, because all you're thinking about is, man, I need to fix this, or I'm good here, so let me enhance that. I can work on this, and I can't wait to do this, and I can't wait to share that, and I can't, you know, you're literally just on fire when you leave that campus, okay? But at the same time, there's the rest of the world, okay? You know, yeah, there's you and my family, my boys, you know, but then there's the rest of the world that I don't necessarily count. You know what I'm saying? You know how I feel about, I've always said for years, the only thing that matters to me is these 4 walls, meaning my family, who's in these 4 walls. And they tell you that once this process is over, don't just jump back into the world. You need to settle. You need to give yourself a little bit of time to slowly integrate back into the rest of the world. And I get it. Because I was on fire when I left there and couldn't wait to see y'all, couldn't wait to say what was in my head, what was in my heart. And then my phone was going off with all of the shit about moving and not approved and no pets allowed. And you got denied for this job. And, you know, all of that shit was going on. And I wasn't ready. You know, they said seclude yourself and whatnot. And I ended up taking an extra day and locked myself away to try to ease back in. And even still, I wasn't quite ready to talk about it to anybody. I only talked about it to you and Jacob. It took me another day to talk about it to Isaiah. It took me another day or two to talk about it to my mom, you know, because it's just, the best way I can explain it is just, you're not the same person. And it's not a bad thing when you come out of there and you see the world a little bit differently. And so you're sort of guarded. And you don't want to come off as the enlightened one, anything like that. But you also don't want to change and revert back to some old ways and some old patterns, you know, because you know me, I walk into a building. It doesn't make a hill of beans that I don't speak to one person when I walk through hundreds of people, you know. And then if people approach me, it makes me pull my armor out a little bit, that kind of thing. And some of that's not so good, you know. Sometimes we should have our ears open and be receptive of some strangers, because you don't know what they may have for you that you may need, or vice versa, that they may need from you. Because that's something I also learned, is the main thing I got out of that is I want to make sure that I tell people it's okay to love yourself. You know, you can love you some you and it's fine. Because if you don't love you some you ain't gonna be able to love nobody else ever. You know, so it was really, 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 really hard. It was really hard, but man, it is worth it. You know, your body and your mind goes through quite a lot, and people will think, well, damn, is this a cult? And no, and they get that a lot. But it's not a cult. It is a legit therapeutic treatment that costs a little over $5,000 and is a damn waiting list to be seen. If that says anything. And the people that are in there are from all walks of life. You know, I'm not going to tell you who was in there, but I'll just say that it ranged from little old people like me that scrubs toilets on Tuesday nights to people that are trying to change the world. Legit trying to change the world. Not just talking about it. They doing the shit. You know, so it's a wide range, and it's something that I would highly recommend to anyone that is interested. I know I'm personally on a mission to get you there, because I think you know that I want to go. I think you can benefit from it. I know I'd like to get our niece Jasmine there. I'd like to get my sons there, especially while they're young, because the parenting thing, man, dude, you and we're brand new parents, right? You know, I mean, granted, we've been doing this for... Every parent is a brand new parent. Exactly. Every parent is a brand new parent. So you don't know what the hell you're doing. No. And so when you think you know what you're doing, you're basically picking up some old habits and some old patterns from your previous child rearing. And some of those things may not be so good. You talk about your mom, but had you already forgiven your dad? Or I did not give him a proper forgiving either, but I did after this. During that I did. I thought I had forgiven him, but man, some shit came out. gosh, some shit came out. Oh gosh, dude, I just kept saying into my head, $17 a kid, $35 a week was too much. That shit played in my head I don't know how many times. And what that signifies is the child support that he was supposed to pay to my mother for my sister and I. $35 a week. And then that went to court because he was contesting it because it was too much in the 80s. And then I dug deeper. Who's that damn judge that approved that shit from the get-go and said that was good enough? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Was he a dad? Or did he grow up with a single mom? How the hell does he even know that was good enough? You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I never thought about that shit. Never. Mm-hmm. But that came up. I'm angry at this because I know it's some old white dude. There weren't no black judges back then. So I'm angry at this old white dude that I've never seen a day in my life. You know, so, whew. Yeah. And I also learned that I freaking love oxygen. We take that shit for granted. They teach you, and you've heard me say this before, that every now and then we just need to stop, take a breath, breathe, and recenter. But they really focus and hone in on that to help you, because none of us do that enough. You've said before, when we're in the thick of things, because you know about taking your bare feet and taking them out to the earth and putting them on the ground, putting your feet on solid ground, putting your feet on the concrete. I've heard you say that yourself. Mm-hmm. And you've said that in the worst of times, we forget to go do that stuff. And they talk about that.
We know it works, but we don't think about doing it.
We know it absolutely works. And that's something where they are not beating you over the head with it, but telling you, look, breathe, dude. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, there was a point in some of my notes. I remember writing, freaking O2 is awesome. O2 is oxygen.
Come on.
I never know what you just sat here and couldn't figure out Roadrunner. When it wasn't the Roadrunner that got hit. It was Wile E. Coyote. Oh gosh, John Helm in the chat says, what's this here? That window is not quite right. Did that move it?
Do you socialize with other folks?
While you're there, you do socialize. Why isn't that window moving? Damn, I thought I had it figured out. Well, he says, taking time for yourself, stepping away from day to day. It's a must. Yeah, we and the thing is, we all know that shit. But how many of us actually do it? I
mean, who the fuck can afford, number one, who can afford $5,000 to get themselves together?
Nope, not talking about that. I'm just saying.
And who can even afford to take time away to just breathe sometimes? Who can just walk out? Or you got to really think about when you're in the thick of things where, I got to take time to stop this and do this. Because you can't. Because you got shit to do.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
Yeah, there are, you're 100% right. There are some instances where if I am flying an airplane and the freaking engine 2 decides to go out, I can't sit there and say, hold on, give me 20 seconds to breathe before I call live air traffic control. Mm-hmm. No, I get that. What I'm saying is the fact that most of us still won't even take the time when we have the time. And this ain't about $5,000. This is about you sitting at the desk doing homework and it's stressing you out because it ain't clicking. You sitting at this desk editing 800 photos from a basketball game. and they're not looking great. Why am I going to sit there and keep pounding away on that editor? Get your ass up, walk away from the screen. Even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, walk away from the screen. And I know that. And I do it. Fortunately, I'll get up. But for me, it ends up being, I'll look at it in the morning. So my eyes will just start playing tricks on me. I'm looking at my guides on the screen, and usually my guides are true to me. But something in my psyche, in my head is like, no, dude, that still don't look right. All right, Aunt, go sleep on it. Wake up in the morning, and every single time it's just super clarity. Just step away. Center up. That's all. But I highly recommend. I still want to send you, my boys, Jasmine, excuse me. I know it's expensive. They do have scholarships there. I know I'm on a mission. Get y'all there. And then I want to get other people there. It's just the world needs people that first loves themselves and forgives themselves, because we're not perfect and we will beat ourselves up over stuff, and we don't have to. We need more self-compassion. You beat yourself up all the time. I used to.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You beat yourself up.
I used to beat myself up over things. I used to. I used to beat myself up over things that had nothing to do with me.
I didn't know that.
These kids are talking shit about me. It's my fault that they're talking shit about me. No, it ain't. We need to have more self-compassion. So, John says, it's a discipline like working out. You may miss a day, but getting back on track. Yeah, that's right. Got to work at it. You know, and they have it. I laughed at the beginning of it. They tell you, for all you people in here that are workout junkies, don't be exercising. There's no running. There's no taking walks. There's no calisthenics and push-ups and squats. Don't be doing any of that. For all of you people that have your times that you want to go pray and meditate, nope, you ain't gonna do none of that either. We got all your time. And that is a bit jarring for a lot of us to hear. But I see why. Because had I done my typical push-up routine, I'd have been like you at that flight school.
And what is that? What part of that?
No, broken down, not able to move, mentally exhausted. Had I done any of that stuff, oh man, it would have totally screwed stuff up. They were so great with how they did it, because it's all scientific. And even down to the meals. And the meals were outstanding. Best flounder I ever had in my life. Didn't even know it was freaking flounder. But it was the way they did the meals. When I looked at it, like on day 4, and we had this meal on one day and this meal on that day. And I was like, oh, I get it now. Because had we eaten this particular meal on that day, we would have been sick as a dog. We wouldn't have been able to do A, B, C, D. And had we needed that meal over here, because we needed the fuel. Because that's, carbs. Carbs is fuel. Everybody talks about how shitty carbs are in your life. But if you want to get shit done, go ask our military folks. They eat a lot of carbs. Because they got to get shit done. But it's great. So that's it. If anybody had questions, I can try to answer here in our live chat. You got anything you want to add?
No.
I've
not loved it. I mean, I'm glad you had the experience and you were able to go through all of it, but
what haven't you loved about it?
I mean, like I told you before, like it's making me question every damn thing about me and my relationship with my children. And, you know, none of us knew what we were doing and all this other stuff. But it is what it is, because we all make it through this life not knowing. Yeah. We come, we go, we live, we die without knowing. So it is what it is. You just had the opportunity to go and find some stuff that you hadn't been able to find before. I've been to therapy, and therapy has worked for me before. Yeah. So maybe that's what will help me, because therapy didn't work for you in the past. Yeah. And a lot of
times
therapy wasn't for you because of the way they were telling you that you were depressed or this, that, and the third. However, whatever you were going through with therapy, and you put up the blocks with therapy because you never needed therapy. Yeah. But I've benefited from therapy, so I don't really see the need to I will even want to do any more extraness, because I mean, I can dig deeper. I already know shit I got going on. Well, why I'm fucked up. I already know that. So I don't need to go to somebody else to dig deeper to find out like this is why, and then what can I do about it?
Well, that's the thing. They walk you through the stuff of what can you do, and
you still got to come back to reality, though. We want you to go back to reality, but you got to ease back into it. So therefore, you got to be able to afford to ease back in it, because everybody can't just ease back in it. You got to go back to life. Yep. And then when real life smacks you in the face because you're back in it after being secluded for a week, I don't know how that's beneficial. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that it worked for you.
I want to say this. You said that I put a block up on therapy. That's not 100% true. Okay. Because, I did try it later on in life, as you know. And I guess what it was is the ones that worked with me didn't quite know the buttons to push, and that happens. It's about like a freaking
Is it the buttons to push or what you allowed them to push? Because you No,
I tell you, if I said I'm going, the doors are open. There's no block. There's no block. If I said I'm going, I'm open. And that's just about with anything, Mm-hmm. I don't say I'm going to do something and then be guarded with it, if you will. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm glad I'm glad you got everything that you needed to get out of it and then some. I am happy for you. Yeah. But I have no desire to rush up to the mountain. At all. I mean, it is what it is. What is done is done. Yeah. Even if I figure out why, it's not going to help me.
You don't think so?
I don't. I mean, it's done. Yeah, me finding out why it all happened, I don't know.
And I think that's another point of contention for many people, is the aspect of what has happened and is done. Heck, my dad's dead and gone. And I couldn't address this with him face to face, if you will, mm-hmm. But what I do have is what I can do for myself and what I can do for you and what I can do for the boys, that point forward. You know what I mean? I took care of whatever I needed to take care of with my mom's, which wasn't going to, I didn't think it was going to be a big issue or a big problem or anything like that. My only apprehension was, I didn't want to come off as hurting my mom's feelings, and that wasn't the case. It wasn't at all. So that my only apprehension didn't even matter. But what did matter was, how do I go going forward? You know, how do I go going forward with you? How do I go going forward with the boys? How do I go forward with the people in this live stream that take the time to freaking listen to the two of us ramble into the mics? You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Anything? Anything else you want to talk about? Before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right. I'm going to pause one more second for a quick break. So y'all stay right there. We'll be right back after this. And we are back. Everyday people doing everyday shit. Getting ready to close out the show. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for listening to my long, drawn out explanation, explainer, what have you. Thank y'all for being here as usual. It's been, again, an interesting journey these last couple of weeks. We've had so much going on, and that continues. I personally, dear, I don't feel like I'm going to have any kind of normalcy till about July 10th or so. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
It's because
there's so much going on.
There's a lot going on. I'm still hoping for different gigs and things like that. I started my gig with Substack this week, and I think it went well. And just hoping for more stuff like that to continue to come through. I did get an email before we got on the mics from a casting agency wanting some stuff from me. So hopefully that'll turn into something. But yeah, I'm thinking like July 10th is when it'll finally be like, and I won't look over there in that hallway and see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cardboard boxes just sitting in the hallway.
It's not July 10th that they're gone.
No, I mean,
gone before then.
I just don't think y'all get it. I mean, look, if I turn this camera, let's see.
I cannot see.
Like, look over there in that corner. That's just acoustic foam. That's just more stuff. And then there's stuff on the floors over there. Yeah. More stuff back behind her. There's my camera that I literally just threw it up. It's like, I guess it's going to go there. Oh, you can't see back down behind it. But behind that monitor, there's like 3 more boxes and so much more stuff in the floor. And my desk is a wreck, but it'll get situated one of these here days, slowly but surely. So thank y'all for continuing to believe in us and allow us to hop on these mics and ramble in all of our messiness. All right. Any preambles before you go? Because you done got quiet now.
No, because this was a heavy fucking show. I don't like it. It's like really heavy again. Yeah. So yeah, I'm heavy now. I'll go in here and watch TV until I'm not heavy anymore and not thinking about it because I don't want it. I don't want to.
Word. I understand. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's heavy episode of Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. Thank you all again for all the support. Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all of the different platforms that you're using. Tell everybody about us. Thank you for all of the folks being a part of our Patreon community. The Patreon is patreon.com/AntPruitt or go to antpruitt.com/Patreon. I put some things in there last week or so, and I will continue to do more stuff inside of the Patreon for our members only going forward as I figure out a way to sort out this damn desk and stuff like that. And like I said, we got some more coming up this weekend as we get ready to empty the nest and head up to college and drop the hard head off. And she has left the building. There she goes. But thank y'all. I don't think I got anything else to plug. Oh, check out my stuff on ZDNet. Check out Substack.com. And they're in the latest announcements regarding video. Look at their social medias, the little videos you see on there. That's my handiwork. So thank you for supporting me by showing them some love over there. All right, folks. Y'all take it easy. Thanks for being here. And remember, it's okay to love yourself. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for someone else. Y'all take it easy.